First day wearing shorts.
It's a nice feeling.
It only took a year.
Yeah, and it's only gonna last.
It's
a
like
day.
May. It's end of May.
Mid-May. It's only gonna last a day though. We got rain tomorrow, as usual.
No, we don't. It's gonna be sunny.
All right, you want to intro this one?
Hello. Okay.
That's it.
Another couch session.
Yeah.
Just slowly phasing into just talking, sitting down.
Every
shooting
episode,
the
it's
shit
just like slightly more like a regular podcast. Next one, we're gonna have like a table with the mics, and then finally
with two different cameras.
Yeah, and then finally we're gonna have the actual full studio set up.
And we're gonna have papers printed, and we're gonna wear suits and ties.
Oh, it's a fancy one.
Nah, but yeah, we are gonna kind of go a little bit out of the norm here, and we're gonna talk about some conspiracy stuff. We're gonna get into a little fun episode. We're gonna probably do a bunch more of these where we just kind of, do like nerdy stuff, gaming stuff,
life,
pop culture, life, and we're like, why not start with talking about
da-na-na-na-na-na. That's the X-Files sound.
E.T. We talk about aliens for the most part today.
Yes, with all these government files being dropped and the not UFOs anymore, UAPs.
Unidentified.
Anomalous phenomena.
Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of these have been sighted like out and around oceans and stuff, and like coming out of the water, so it's no longer just like, space. They're kind of just like anything that they can't identify is classified as a
UAP.
As a UAP, exactly.
Interesting.
Right. So, I mean, I love this stuff. I'm a huge...
Yeah, we talk about it a lot.
Yeah, literally, it's like my favorite thing to talk about right now.
And it's actually a very relevant topic these days.
The
U.S. government just released a bunch of files about UFOs. I like saying UFOs. UFOs, all that stuff, like Area 51, Area 51, sorry.
Area 41's
Area
the
41
is the
Timu one from China. No, I was thinking of the one that Bob Lazar was working at.
He was working at...
Something 4. It had the number 4.
Yeah.
Anyways, whatever. In the
S4
mountains.
or something like
that? Yeah,
that?
Sector 4. That's
S4,
what it was.
Yeah.
That's what came to my mind when I was saying that, but I meant Area 51. Anyways, so very relevant topic. We saw a bunch of stuff online. Obviously, when you're on Instagram and whatnot, and the old interwebs, you don't know what's right, what's not what's real and what's not real.
How good AI is nowadays.
Yeah,
it's like
and they
very,
might
very
just be trying to trick us, from
from
the old files that were supposed to be, released.
The old Bernstein files.
Yeah, don't get demonetized.
Yeah, exactly. Dude. So I don't know. I feel like before we get into like the actual parts that we have kind of here, what are your like thoughts on aliens, UAPs, extraterrestrial, interdimensional beings, as though some of them are being called?
I think it's a bunch of bullshit.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't think anything's real.
Like reality, or just that specifically?
No, I'm just kidding. I think I've always pondered this topic and question ever since I came out of the womb.
You come out, you're like, aliens.
Yeah. No, like, it's kind of messed up or hard for me to accept the fact that we are the only things out there.
I can't see that being possible. Like one of the oldest arguments in the book for people who are firm believers of it is just like the Earth is, they say in the Goldilocks zone, which is just enough far away from the sun that you're able to inhabit life. There's water, carbon. There's a couple of like essentials to life, and one of them is water, carbon, and there's like one or two more.
Go off, Dr. Matt.
I'm a physiologist.
Astrology. Astronomy.
But yeah, I mean, like, we're one planet in one solar system in one galaxy in which there are hundreds of millions of galaxies, billions actually of galaxies.
Was it more planets than grains of sand on every beach on the Earth, or is that more galaxies?
I think it's more galaxies. Dude.
Yeah, so like the odds of us being alone is impossible.
Impossibility.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't. And that's just like, we're talking about just like in space. Then there's also the theory that they're here, but it's interdimensional. Like it's in the fourth and fifth dimension.
Things we don't even comprehend.
Which we can't even possibly comprehend.
We can't experience it because we're not on that plane. We're not adapted to that realm.
That's why some of these things are, seen like float, like they disappear and reappear. It's like, where are they going if they're not going into space or whatever?
Well,
Like
it's easy, Matt. They're going down to the bottom of the ocean.
That's another theory.
And they're also going into the center of the Earth's core.
Yeah,
where
these
in
are
the
all true
Earth's
theories.
core is actually a times travel into 50,000 years into the future.
Okay, now I don't think I've heard that one. I think that's a Victor
I
theory.
just made that up.
But yeah, dude, no, I'm the same. I've always been into like that vibe, like the sci-fi alien vibe. But I've also felt the same way, where it's like, how could it possibly be? And then there's all those other, interesting theories, like the pyramids. Like, how the were those built? Those structures built when the technology there was like, they're perfectly cut at a 90-degree angle, hundreds of thousands of metric tons of stone lifted by malnourished slaves. Like,
bro, it's easy. The Jews built it.
Well, now we're not getting this video up for sure. They know.
Well, no, I'm not saying anything wrong. That's what.
Well, they were enslaved. Yeah,
that's
the Jewish people weren't. That's what I'm saying. The slaves. Yeah. But damn, they do not have a good history, unfortunately. Anyways, sidetrack. But yeah, that's kind of my thought. I 100% think that there's definitely something out there, here, underwater, something. There's also the
maybe there's something here right now that we can't even see them.
Yeah, they're probably in this room right now. They're just in another dimension. They're having their own podcast on their own hovering couch, but it's just like two aliens that look like me and you.
Maybe that's why my head's like feels weird.
Yeah,
been dizzy lately.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool theories. There's also the fact that like another interesting theory is that the UAPs whatever are just ancient civilizations, like remnants of ancient, because like the Earth's been around for billions of years. Who's to say that there hasn't been a full entire civilization that made it to a certain level of advancement? Maybe they went underground or into the water because of a cataclysmic event, and then humanity came after. You know what I mean? Like, that's like a big theory that I've heard, that there's possibility of ancient civilizations that just like, were here before we were, and there's no history because they died off like a billion years ago.
I think the last argued timeline for an ancient civilization that was more advanced than us was about 12,000 years ago. I don't know if you watched
the Lazar documentary.
No, it's called Ancient Apocalypse.
Oh
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
on
yeah,
Netflix.
yeah. Yeah, well, yes,
With
I remember you were talking about
Graham. Something Graham, I forget his name, but
yeah,
he's kind of an archaeological specialist or like historian. Actually, no, he's really a journalist, but he's like dedicated his life to like finding out what happened around the time of like all those floods and the Ice Age.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of plays into what you're talking about with like a higher civilization, more advanced civilization that like maybe they built the pyramids and whatnot, and they had help from God knows where, kind of thing. And this is like
or
the whole idea
or they were
of the
given
aliens.
like some kind of technology to help
Yeah.
them do it, and then
Or are we just a plant?
like a project.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things I was going to talk about later. But it's not in here, but there's something called the zoo hypothesis, which is that yes, there are in fact tons of extraterrestrial advanced civilizations, but they just observe. Like, we're like a zoo, like a zookeeper, a zoo handler doesn't interact with the animals until there's trouble, and that's why a lot of times these sightings around like high tension, like nuclear sites, like I've heard stories when I've listened to like Bob Lazar and all those big alien guys where these UAPs were spotted at like nuclear sites, and then they would shut down all power to the site, like, and just simultaneously dismantle all the nukes that they had. Like,
nuts.
So it's crazy. So I think that's like a pretty interesting working theory, that it's just like these guys are kind of like stewards of the planet. They just like kind of hang around, make sure we don't kill ourselves, and they're just either waiting for us to advance to a certain point before revealing themselves, or we're just like like a pet project. Or there's like darker theories where they're just like waiting for us for a certain point before they can harvest like
our souls.
Yeah, resources on the planet. They can. Yeah, there's so many interesting, like, it's so cool, man. Like, I love going into deep dives on this because it's so interesting. There's so many reputable people in the military who would like, why would they risk their careers and reputation coming out and saying they've interacted with unknown technologies, they've seen biological like evidence, like bodies of aliens.
Did you see that picture that was released?
Which one?
Supposedly released by the U.S. government. The grays, like the short ones with the big head and the big eyes.
I've seen a bunch.
And it's like a legit photo, and they're interacting with some suited men from like the 50s or whatever.
I've seen those. Yeah, there's and like that's all like
it looks fake, but it's
like, not though, because it's like, is it or is it because it's like before
it's
AI?
wild.
Like
it's
a lot
wild.
of this is before AI.
I have no idea.
Very interesting. But anyway, I'll go through kind of like a couple of the points we have, and because we can just ramble, but let's try to have it more like segmented.
Let's have it a structured.
Yeah. So
conspiracy theory.
There's a lot of now that the government, like especially with Trump putting an order to release the UAP files, now it's kind of like it's very hard to doubt that there's something out there, whether it's UAPs or aliens or whatever, or interdimensional beings, or maybe it's advanced technology from like, you know, our enemies like China or Russia or whatever. That's also a theory. But some of these craft, bro, they move in ways that are physically like we drop like 50,000 feet in 2 seconds. We don't have
the,
and if something organic was inside the craft, like a human being, you would be goop. Like you would just literally explode, right? Because of the G force. But anyway, so the government kind of has already been telling us over the years, like, here's a couple cool dates. So there's like, you know, in 2017, the New York Times broke the story that the Pentagon ran a secret UAP program called AATIP for years. There was also Project, what was it called? Fuck. There was another one that was Project Stargate, which was like one that the government had come out and admitted to, where they were using like remote viewers to like try to find alien life, or like, you know, go to like Mars, like remote view Mars, and they found like bases underground and stuff like that. Really interesting stuff. But these are legit funded, like multi-billion-dollar government programs. So like, why is the government putting all this money into programs when, you know, unless it's like a front for something, I guess. And then Trump in 2016 created the Space Force. Remember that?
Space Force.
Yeah, like a militarizing.
Isn't there like a funny show, kind of like a spin-off
there is.
about
it's
it?
Like an
with,
Office style with Steve Carell.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, actually. In 2021, the U.S. government released official UAP reports acknowledging 144 unexplainable incidents. So of stuff that they just can't possibly explain. Which is really interesting as well.
That is what unexplainable means.
2023. Former intelligence officer David Grush, he's really well known in the UAP community, testified under oath to Congress that the U.S. recovered non-human craft and biological materials. And I think that's around when they started. That's why this stuff is so interesting to me, because it's like it's really ramped up over the years. Like 20 years ago, if you said you believed in aliens, people would be like, you're an idiot. Like, that's so stupid.
But aliens?
But now it's like, and I think my theory is that they're here, they've been here all along, they've been in and out, you know, whatever.
Burger.
And I think the government has known for years, and they've slowly been like drip feeding it. So it's not a shock. Like when you're constantly releasing media, movies, TV shows, you're having these congressional hearings now where it's like starting to become kind of legit.
Well, probably the masses would not be able to handle such a huge thing being revealed. Like people would probably just be up in arms saying, what's the point of me doing this? What's the point of me going to work? Like, why do I have to be
I think I sent you
know what I mean, member of society when there's this whole other stuff?
Yeah, when there's like this existential threat or crisis, I guess. There's I sent you, I think, a couple of videos about this, but like a lot of leaders in the religious community recently.
Yeah, they're like getting prepared to
they were like
deal and tell everyone
hundreds
in their
of like high-level pastors were brought to, I think it was Washington, for a briefing about like when Trump's gonna do, like, I think in June or July, he plans to like speak about this topic, and I think that's when we're gonna hear some very interesting stuff. And it's basically to like prepare their congregation for the possibility of like losing people, because if, you know, that comes out, people who believe in God or whatever are gonna be like, fuck, well, if there's aliens, like, is God real then? Like, you know what I mean? And then the theory is that, based on that, from what I read, is people are they think that they're gonna say that these are actually our creators. Like, we were created by this race, and we're like a hybrid project, or like you said, kind of like a science experiment. And it's gonna kind of
a science experiment that can get jacked.
Yeah, at least they gave us the ability to fucking live. Thank God, you know. There was a couple of other interesting ones, like we said, more congressional hearings, a lot more whistleblowers, and a lot more declassified.
A lot of people just disappearing / dying.
Bro, and then yes, there's been 15 or 16 scientists now. David Wilcock was the most, remember that guy? Like, he was from the Ancient Aliens and stuff like that. That guy was huge, and he was not only aliens, he also talked a lot about, like, the Illuminati and, like, the powers that be and how they're, like, a cult. But that's kind of another topic. We're talking about UFOs, but... Yeah, like it's been 15 scientists in the last 5 years. Every single one of them was linked to anti-gravity technology, UAPs, propulsion, all those high level, high clearance, secret government black projects, and they're all committing suicide. Every single one of them is oh, whoops, I drove my car off a bridge accidentally. These people are just getting killed, which is
maybe
insane.
They're being taken to the special land that we know not of, and they're just living there with the rest of the aliens and whatnot, and the people who are the higher ups. I like to think of it like that, like an open-ended movie.
I think they all just were murdered. Okay, so here's a couple cool incidents that are kind of hard to explain, and let me know if you've heard any of these. I've heard of all these because I'm a huge nerd.
If you guys haven't put it together yet, Matt is a master of three topics in this world. Mm-hmm. Number 1, peptides.
Yep.
Number 2, fitness. Mm-hmm. Number 3, aliens.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's a pretty diverse portfolio. I think so. Okay, the Tic Tac UFO.
Yep.
So this one is really
Commander
really
David
famous.
Schrader.
Yes, exactly. This is a very famous one. U.S. Navy pilots off California encountered a white Tic Tac shaped object. Quite literally looks like a little Tic Tac. No wings,
and they
no
locked
exhaust.
onto it with the radar.
Yeah, no visible propulsion, but it was moving from 80,000 feet to sea level in under a second.
Yeah, it just went
which is absolutely insane.
Yeah,
the amount of G-force that would create is I can't even fathom.
So it's not G-force if it's bending gravity. There's no G-force to be experienced.
Well, that's
right?
Yeah. A lot of times when you look at these events and these scientists that have been coming out are saying they literally just bend space and time.
Yeah,
that's how they
do it.
That's how they move. There's no propulsion.
No.
Everything there's no resistance.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't experience G-force because there's no force.
They're
going through
gravity.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Well, actually, no, around it.
They're bending it.
Yeah.
It's I think
it's like Avatar, the gravity bender.
Yeah, nice. I think there's even videos where you can kind of see these things move, and there's almost a pocket of air around them, and they're just going through that pocket. So it's
And this coincides with everything that Bob Lazar said. You probably didn't watch the documentary.
No, that's on my list.
There's a new documentary on Prime. I rented that shit first day.
Nice.
And it's exactly in line with what he described. There was 9 craft in the area he worked in, and he said when it was on, it was making no noise. It was hovering, and they even did tests of it, moving it around. They just don't know how it functioned. It had certain elements, very basic.
Yeah.
And there was certain 3 elements. One was called, I think, an amplifier. The other one, I forget the names of them. Mm-hmm. But they worked in unison. When you turned it on, the fucking whole craft moved up and just was able to move any
direction,
axis in space.
Yeah.
And there was just a little amount of it's an unknown element here, but they named it element. I forget one.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it's
I
called.
remember.
And they put this
he talks
amount
about it on the Joe Rogan podcast
into this post, and that was enough to power up the whole.
That's insane, dude.
Craft.
And then I heard also with that experiment, because he was on the Joe Rogan podcast and he talked
recently.
He talked about his time at this place here. S4. And he said another thing when he was working on this reactor that they were trying to reverse engineer, essentially, right? That's why they brought him on, because they were trying to get someone to think outside the box, because they couldn't figure it out. He said
he also thinks, sorry that to cut you off, that the guy before him was either killed, died, or whatever, and he was their replacement.
He was, yeah.
There was an explosion or something.
Yeah, there was an explosion. They were cutting into cutting into alien technology is probably going to be unsafe.
Exploded.
Yeah, exactly. But he was saying something too, which is we don't have the technology to do this. He's normally in a regular engine or just in thermodynamics in general, heat when you're doing something. It always gives off energy, always
Combustion.
gives off heat. Exactly. This gave no heat. It was able to like energize, like you said, almost with no effort, and it was completely cool to the touch. Like they'd be able to like touch it. It would be freezing cold.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely crazy.
And so they managed to extract one part. There was 3 of these amplifiers or whatever they're called. They managed to extract one of them and its corresponding parts, and they brought it to the lab. And when they would turn it, there was like a sphere, and then there was like a cylindrical thing that when you spun it 180 degrees, it turned the barrier of the sphere on, and you, as hard as you tried to press the sphere, you could not. There was like
crazy.
there was like a barrier
almost.
force field. Like there was a little bit of like a give where you could
but you couldn't get
go
past
here, but then
point.
a certain point you just couldn't go further.
Dude,
and then
my
you
God.
twist the amplifier back, and then you could touch it. So like
is
those
crazy.
3 things were what picked up the craft. I guess.
And it's
freaking-
it's anti-gravity technology, right? Which is what all these scientists that have been missing have been working on. So obviously we didn't create that technology. We got it from somewhere, allegedly these crashed sites or whatever, and we've been, or the other theory
It was
is that
given.
It was given to us. That's the other theory, that it's given to us. It's like kind of like analogy he uses, like it's like going back to, you know, caveman times and like dropping off a cell phone or something, or like the 16th century and like leaving a cell phone
Or
and
a
letting
lighter.
them like reverse engineer
Yo,
it, right?
you want this lighter? It's a Bic.
Yeah.
Oh, fire in the palm of my hand.
Apparently, just the Tic Tac UFO, because we were talking about that. Apparently, they've said that it was that was actually human made, and it was like a Lockheed Martin technology, like advanced weapons systems. Another big one, I don't know if you remember this one, 1997, the Phoenix Lights. Do you remember that incident at all? It was pretty big.
Yeah.
So in Phoenix, there was a big one because it's one of the most witnesses. It had several thousand witnesses. There was basically a V-shaped set of lights, like a triangle, that was moving through Phoenix. And there's been like doctors, pilots, police officers, even the mayor of Phoenix came out and like made a statement that the government's investigating. I don't know what it is, and it kind of just like was swept under the rug. But yeah, that was a really interesting one. This one I don't think I've heard. The Rendlesham Forest incident. U.S. Air Force personnel in England reported craft. Oh, I do remember this one. Craft reporting near a nuclear weapon base. They approached it, touched it, and one officer reported symbols on the hull. I remember this. I was watching a YouTube video on this.
Good old YouTube.
Yeah, this is all documented. And the 2 guys that were there, I remember they came on one of those like aliens shows and like talked about it. And then of course you have someone like Bob Lazar, who's, you know, he said he worked at S4, which we just talked about, which is a facility near Area 51 responsible for reverse engineering alien propulsion systems. His story has never been fully debunked, and details about element 115.
That's what it was. I did
were
say
later
1-1.
confirmed.
Did I not?
You did, yeah.
But
yeah.
I think I said 9.
They were later confirmed by the scientific community, so now it's like an official element. So obviously
Not of this earth, though.
Not of this earth, exactly. The government erases employees' employment records, and a supervisor's existence was eventually verified. So these are like legit high-level people that are coming out and talking about this.
Also, if you just take into account, or if you just even just count the amount of people that are reporting these incidences, and they're all from various parts of the world, and they all have various like similarities, how can people just disregard that? You know, like it's like enough. It's hundreds, if not thousands of sightings. That's even people that say they were brought aboard the ship and like probed or like questioned and whatnot.
There's a really
they all give the exact same retelling or recounting of the story, and you're like, how is everyone saying the same or a similar thing?
Similar
and then they're
sightings.
just people are saying that, oh, you're crazy. Yeah.
There was a really interesting thing that I watched, again, like another documentary about this, where this guy who was in the government in like the 40s and 50s said, after the Roswell crash, that's the big one, he was saying, like, in relation to these, alien abductions, all these people that have been, quote unquote, abducted. He said that sometime in the 50s or 40s, President, I think it was Eisenhower,
true American patriot.
Yeah, he apparently, after the Roswell crash, he disappeared for 2 days, and there was this whole panic. People thought he was assassinated. People thought he was dead.
I vaguely remember
the story
this.
Goes from this guy who was at the meeting, said Eisenhower was taken to a secret location where he met 2 alien races, the Greys, which are the ones you see in movies, the little green men, but they're actually gray. And then the Nordics, which are apparently
they look like us.
They look like us, basically Swedish people.
Yeah,
Scandinavians.
Bro, all Scandinavians have been aliens this whole time.
Tall,
Thor
blonde.
Bjornsson is a fucking alien.
That guy's an alien for sure. That guy's an alien for sure, or a giant. He's a descendant of the giants.
Yo, that goes into Thor, Odin, the Norse mythology.
The Norse mythology, yeah. So anyway, but apparently this leads into abductions. The 2 races basically offered the government a deal. The Nordics said, okay, we are going to help you cultivate your species. Over the next 100 years, all disease will be cured. All this, you will basically advance to a level 1 civilization.
Are we level 0
We're
right
level
now?
0 still, yeah. level 1 civilization, you have to be able to harness the power of the sun. So we're almost there.
Yes.
Yeah, and then level 2 is you're able to build what's called it's this basically a giant cylindrical thing that engulfs the sun and harnesses all its energy.
So then you have infinite energy.
Then you have infinite energy, and then there's level 3 and level 4, which level 4 is you can't even comprehend. You're essentially just a thing of energy that travels through the cosmos. You're not even a physical being anymore. So we're 0.9. We're 0.8 when I was looking.
How are we alive in this freaking point of time?
This is the craziest timeline ever, dude.
How am I alive? How was I not born in the shitty ass medieval times or whatever?
It's cool to think about.
Or how was I not building the pyramids?
But
how am I here right now?
Going back to what I was saying, so the Nordics offered them this, peace, but the stipulation was you have to dismantle all your nuclear weapons and cease war, essentially. And at the time, this is post-World War II, and we were entering the Cold War. The Greys offered them a different deal. The Greys said, we will actually provide you with technology to reverse engineer, enhance your weapons program, but you have to allow us to experiment on your population. And then Eisenhower made the deal.
Bro, why would you pick that one?
Because of national security. That's the going theory. He said, we're in a Cold War with Russia. We need weapons. Humans, bro. We could have had fucking world peace and no disease and a lifespan of 350 years, allegedly. But instead, we decided to take the weapons.
What an
power.
Idiot.
Yeah, that's the theory. And that's why these abductions are happening. And no one ever dies from the abductions because they go in, they take samples.
They're just poking them.
Yeah, because of the Greys, again, apparently, are very scientific race. They just travel the cosmos and study, right? That's where they are. Whereas the Nordics are a benevolent. They go around and.
I would have preferred that one,
yeah,
bro.
Same,
be
dude.
Freaking blonde and perfect and shit.
Yeah, and be 350 years old, looking like you're 20, dude. That's crazy.
Harvesting the power of the sun.
Yeah, so really, that's just
human greed, dog.
Kind of a sidebar.
Honestly, that's probably what needs to get out of the human society and everyone's minds is the greed factor, and just then you wouldn't have any problems with different countries, different races.
And I think that's another working theory is that the reason aliens haven't revealed themselves, or we're getting close to that point, and it's kind of what's happening with the geopolitical landscape as well, is these alien races, allegedly part of this galactic federation, which is they're waiting to bring humanity.
GF, Galactic Federation.
The reason we're not in it is because we're still very primal in the sense
monkeys.
In the sense that there's war and stuff like that. These races, let's say, it's not like they have countries and borders. It's just this is our planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and now with this whole push for globalization and one basically world government and thing, that's why a lot of people are thinking this is leading up to us, finally joining the Galactic Federation, which is crazy.
One world government.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Does that mean we all get monthly living
Stipends.
cost.
Was that EBT?
Yeah, exactly. But like, I don't know if it's supposed to be a governed global.
No,
it's supposed to be just like everyone is free.
Yeah.
We all have like let's go back to the Ten Commandments.
Communism, but it works.
Impossible when you talk about greed.
Yeah.
You know, you need to get rid of the human greed factor for any of this shit to work.
I don't think that's ever going to change.
Yeah, because someone who tastes power wants more of it. Have you ever seen the Sith Lord?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
dark side he chose.
That's the only way that you can get the fucking dark side of the Force.
So
and start shocking people with electricity.
A lot of the
but he's just ignoring me.
I'm just like go off, King. One of the other interesting things I know I just talked about the zoo paradox, which is like they're all observing us. That's why they haven't interacted with us.
Mm-hmm.
The other big one that people argue against it, like Elon Musk actually is a big one of this because he's obviously loves this stuff, but he still doesn't believe that there's extraterrestrial civilizations because he's like, why haven't they visited? Same with Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's like, why have we never?
Well, they have.
Yeah, but like, why don't we see it? And then obviously it's like, well, the government's keeping it a secret
because
it would
turn as smart as you guys are, you're not privy to that information yet.
Yeah, you're not exactly.
But keep building your rockets, keep making Tesla. You don't get to see the aliens yet.
The theory that they go off and the counter to that theory is called the Fermi paradox. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's just like. There's exactly more stars than there are grains of sand on the Earth, like you said. So statistically, life should be everywhere, so where is everybody? There's three possible answers. One, we're alone, which I think is highly unlikely.
Nah.
Two is they're hiding.
Impossible.
Or three, they're already here. So they're already here is kind of like where it seems to be heading with all these UAP declassified stuff that we're seeing. And then the other one, they're hiding, is an interesting one because the way these guys explain it is like, if let's assume that some of these, not all these alien civilizations are benevolent. Maybe they're conquerors. They go from planet to planet, absorbing the planet's resources, whatever.
Really, I was just about to say, like, it sounds that these other species, or at least from the two that you mentioned, they're just chill.
That seems like to be 90%, but they like some of like the reptilians, which is like that whole theory that
some Star Trek shit.
All of the Hollywood elites are actually secretly reptilians that run this government.
That's so funny.
And that goes back to the Epstein files. That's why they're quote unquote cannibals and eating children. It's because they're fucking reptiles.
We're getting into the conspiracy.
It's crazy. But anyway, what I was getting at there is that there are other civilizations, but they're not letting themselves be known because then if you broadcast your location, then let's say an aggressive like a conquering alien species will then come and take over your planet. So everyone's hiding. Like they're all there, but no one's revealing themselves because to reveal yourself would put your planet at risk.
It's like when you put on the One Ring.
Yeah.
The wraiths can find you.
Yeah.
All of the people in the Shadow Realm can see you.
Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Lord of the Rings reference during an Alien episode. That's wild.
Yo, I go out there. I think of these things. Maybe that's how Lord of the Rings was made by Tolkien.
I got some more stuff here that's a little bit more like conspiracy theories, not just aliens. This is now more conspiracy theories. Is there anything else you want to like kind of touch on in terms of the aliens? How do you feel about all these files being released? Oh, dude, Project Bluebeam
asks me a question.
ADD. Sorry. Okay,
no, go ahead.
No, Project Bluebeam. Yeah. We didn't talk about. Did we? That's
we did not. Touch on
you know what that is, right?
Remind me.
So the ultimate conspiracy among conspiracies is Project Bluebeam. That all of this,
it's coming.
Yes, this is everything we're seeing. The UAP files, all this stuff leading up to this revelation that we're not alone in the universe. There are aliens, all staged. It's all done by the shadow government that's controlling the planet.
Yes.
They're going to use the current technology that we have, AI and holograms, whatever, to stage a fake alien invasion. That's what this is, the whole Project Bluebeam, to then unify the planet under one government. Yeah. And they say that's going to be done by 2030. That's the theory. There's a whole document that was written by apparently the Illuminati in like the 1800s that plans this out over the next 200 years, how they are going to kind of convince everyone to unify under one rule, which will be ruled by this class of super elites. They'll run the planet. And it's going to be under the guise that we need to unify as a species to like fight back the alien threat that's not real. It's just holograms. And
that would only coincide with the idea that we're alone in the universe.
Exactly. Exactly. So
which I find hard to believe.
Yeah, me too. I don't think that's a real thing, but that is like, there's a lot of people that
I remember this idea.
I remember when I look at these UAP files being released on like TikTok and Instagram, and I look at the comments. A lot of people are like, Project Bluebeam. None of this is real. They're just like prepping us.
It's a very nihilistic form of viewing the world, right? Like you just like you're 30 years old. You have so much time left in your physical body, let's say, and then you just decide that nothing matters.
Yeah, it's the definition of nihilism.
It's crazy.
I could not live like that.
I prefer that like one thing matters, and that's gains.
You got it. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I do, since we're talking about like these different ideas still. Have you heard? I don't remember the name of it, but it's the idea that the others or the extraterrestrials they're like kind of growing us, and
like
I've heard
as a species, or
yeah, they're growing us because when we pass, our souls have been like, you know how
I get it. Yeah.
How a melon or a fruit takes time to get ripe.
Yeah.
So like us having lived that life 60, 70, 80, 100 years,
whatever,
our soul then becomes ripe enough for them to harvest and use in a certain form. I don't know what for, energy-wise and whatnot. And on top of this, so let's say that would be a very shitty way, because like imagine you die and then your soul goes and they're like, oh, we're just going to use you now kind of thing forever.
Yeah, damn,
I hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
But some Russian scientists, obviously, this whole episode, you're just like listening with 1,000 grains of salt.
Yeah, 100%.
Like we're just talking
as many grains
here.
of salt as there are seas in the stars. Seas in the stars, bro.
Bro, butchered that. Grains of sand on
sand on the sea, or fuck, I don't know, dude.
Beaches,
anyway,
bro. Beaches on this planet.
Sometimes you gotta kill two bushes with one bird. You know what I'm saying?
And on that note, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Actually,
no,
I was gonna say, you're like, I'm just.
I didn't even finish my fucking thing.
Okay, go, my bad.
You're making me lose what I was saying, bro.
The Russian scientists with the soul harvesting.
Some Russian scientists figured out where your soul goes after you die.
I heard about this.
And apparently, multiple times, they went to the same location, like a billion light years away.
Yeah.
Which I can't even begin to fathom how you even track or find that out.
If I remember correctly, he did some kind of thing with like technology. He used like a computer to like trace like a DNA signature or something like that.
It's zeros and ones at the end of the day.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, we're just electrical. We're just like an organic machine, right? It's electricity at the end of the day is what operates us. So he kind of figured a way to track your electric signal, and then when people, he did this with multiple people, and it was like a billion light years away, and he's like, that's where we're going back home, which is really interesting. There was another guy, just to touch on that, who was like a remote viewer who came out and talked about this. He worked in that Project Stargate, which is the one I mentioned earlier, where they use remote viewers to find stuff like the aliens, but they also were using it to find like the Ark of the Covenant, the Tomb of Gilgamesh, like all these like ancient things, which is crazy. Sidebar, there's like actual emails from Hillary Clinton asking about the Tomb of Gilgamesh, like where it's located, which is nuts.
And the Ark of the Covenant.
Which is crazy. It's like, why would they be asking if those things aren't real? Like, it's fucking nuts.
Them's is real, dog.
Them's is real.
People have protected the Ark of the Covenant. I forget where it was. I don't know if in Israel or some area
I think it's in that.
Somewhere, maybe even like northeastern Africa or something.
I think it's in like Ethiopia or something like that. That's what the remote viewers said they found. It's somewhere in Africa. It was somewhere in Africa.
So there's always been people charged with the duty of guarding it, and they would over time get like cancer and whatnot and die.
Because of the radiation.
Yeah.
I guess. What if it's an alien artifact?
No, well, what else could it be?
Yeah.
What else would it be?
Well, if you're religious.
Either an advanced civilization's like high-powered item that we don't know how to use.
Yeah.
and it's like the last one that made it through whatever cataclysmic thing, or it's alien technology.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that guy, the remote viewer that I was talking about with the soul thing, relative to what you were saying, he said that he saw like where our souls are supposed to go, and apparently there's like a, let's call it a proverbial net that these aliens catches your soul to harvest it. Yeah, but as your soul leaves Earth, instead of going to the destination it's supposed to go, going back to your like soul harvesting thing, it harvests your soul. So it's like, imagine you're like, I'm going home, when you get sucked into like a vacuum to like power an alien ship. Like, that freaking sucks.
Damn.
That freaking sucks. I'm gonna reincarnate as a nuclear reactor.
As a fuel source.
Yeah, as a fuel source. Shit's crazy.
Damn you, Eisenhower. You fucking had the opportunity to choose the right people.
I mean, how true is that? Who knows? But like,
I believe it.
Really interesting.
That's a scientific fact.
There's so many interesting and cool. You can like really go into like a deep dive on this stuff. And it's like, the more you look into it, the more it becomes less or more difficult to deny that there's something unexplainable. One thing that you told me about, that you showed me about, you can talk about it, was the P-57s and the P-47s and P-52s or something like that?
Thank you, Matt.
No worries.
Yeah, it's actually one of the scientists. She disappeared.
Committed suicide.
Recently, yeah. Obviously, you take whatever you see online with, like, you can make your own conclusions, right? But she was saying that there's two forms of ultra-terrestrial, so it's not extraterrestrial, it's actually ultra-terrestrial, the proper term, and
which means they're from here.
Yes, but they're like humans from the future,
and they've come back.
And they've come back, and apparently those grays are they're robots,
drones,
or drones. Or
yeah,
whatever.
That's what a lot of theories say. Like, I was listening to something earlier, like yesterday maybe. And it was like this guy who's, again, a scientist who's like on his deathbed who worked for Area 51. And he's basically like, yeah, these are all drones. And the UAPs also, the reason there's so many different ones.
The grays or the craft, the UAPs?
Both.
Okay.
The grays themselves are like, they're like machines. They're like drones, right?
Robots.
Because think about it, if you're an advanced civilization, why would you send your own species into dangerous terrain when you can have, like, we're basically doing that right now.
Yeah, mechs,
We're getting
robots.
We're getting to the point where robots are going to be a thing. Elon's plan to colonize Mars, there's no humans. He's going to go build it with a bunch of Tesla bots. Because they can survive hazardous conditions. They can work forever.
Exactly.
Anyway, but he's so cute, man. What I was getting at, and I lost my train of thought here.
Well, what I was getting
at. that I interrupted. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Talk about the P-57.
Yeah, there's P-47 and P-52. Essentially, these are us, but they're like around 50,000 years in the future.
That's crazy.
Essentially.
Yeah, I think P-47 is 47,000 years and P-52 is 52,000
Precisely. Years. And they're like, I don't know, coming back in the past, I guess?
Yeah. Well, I think what the theory was...
And like trying to... I don't know what they're trying to do with us, warn us of something.
I think it's like they've come to like prevent a cataclysmic event. Because I watched the video you sent me, and the girl was saying like essentially both these us from
that's so 50 far in the future.
50 millennia in the future.
What is life like then? Are people ripping Halo or what?
They are Halo.
They are Halo.
I think the theory that she was saying, or the facts, I guess, whatever you want to call it, was that at some point in the future, apparently relatively near future, there's a cataclysmic event that wipes out like 90% of the population, and basically some survivors go underground, and that's one branch, the P-57s, let's say, or P-52s, and somehow the people on the surface survive, and that's the other race, which is the P-47s. So it's like both of them is just the humans evolving over 50,000 years, the ones that lived underground and the ones that lived above ground.
So we got mans in the ground.
Yeah.
Currently, because they're in the future.
And it explains why the photos of the two, like the P-57s, I don't know if you've seen them, but they look like mutated humans.
Mole people.
Yeah, they have like, their eyes aren't like the big black ones like you see the grays. They have pupils. They're just like large, They're frail, they're skinny, and they're extremely white because if you live underground for 50,000 years, you have no sun, right?
Well, what about you? You've been living above ground. Oh, shit.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I could use a tan. I could use a tan for sure. If we had some freaking sun
No, but they're
here-
like white like your socks, though.
Yeah, if they had some sun here, maybe I'd...
Hey, we got our first sunny day and the clouds are back.
I was going to say, it lasted about 3 hours.
Got to put our sweats back on.
I feel like I have a bunch of other stuff here that's other conspiracies. I feel like we save this for another episode because there's a lot we can cover here, like Mandela
Part
Effect.
2, if you will.
Yeah, Bigfoot, the Bermuda Triangle, Denver Airport.
Bigfoot.
Yeah. Anyway,
Man, did you see that guy that on IG? I'm gonna send it to you. He claims to have like a frozen Bigfoot in his freezer, and he has it chopped up.
the head?
It looks like it's just a special buffalo.
Yeah,
kind of.
I saw that recently on Instagram.
It's
yeah,
weird.
apparently he claims he's got the head and like the rest of the
Feet
body
and everything. Yeah. And he's just like there with black gloves on with
Did
a
the guy
straight
just like
face.
go out and kill it and then like dismember it?
It's fake, bro.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
got to
way.
be fake for sure. There
But-
was
But yeah, I'm down to do that. We could totally continue this another time,
This is a
and we
fun
could
one.
we could even come back to this after the supposed revealing in the summertime. Was it? Did you say July?
Yeah, it's
July,
supposed to be July. I
August.
think it's like June 26th or July 26th. There's a date that's been set.
Do you know that website where I forget what it's called, but it accurately has
The
everything?
Doomsday Clock? Oh no, the future timeline.
That one.
Yeah.
What does it say for 2027?
That is interesting. I'm going to look
Because
that up.
this was the year of disclosure, right? 26. Does it say 2027 is the age of contact or whatever?
Yeah. 21st century, right? That makes sense.
And a lot of the shit that's been in the list is
It's been like really accurate, yeah. So we're at, let's say, 2025 to 2028. So these are some of the ones. All television is becoming internet-based.
Facts.
Yeah. The United States is becoming more authoritarian. Interesting. I can kind of see that.
Yes.
I'm just looking at...
That's a yes.
The Martian Moon Exploration Probe collects and returns samples. I think they're already doing that right now. 2026, 27, the world's first trillionaire. Very interesting.
Elon Musk or one of them.
First crewed flight of NASA's Orion spacecraft.
Did that happen? Was it called
No,
Orion?
it wasn't called Orion. It was called Artemis. But
Alright.
I guess that's the next one.
Did Italy host?
Grand Theft Auto 6 is launched.
Yo!
It's
That
on-
was updated.
That's hilarious.
That's so funny, yo. We're talking about aliens before GTA 6 came out.
Yeah, I don't know if it's...
2027.
Yeah, it doesn't say here.
Does it even mention aliens?
No, I think it's based on... There's a mission to Venus in 2028 to 31.
Ooh, Project Veritas. Interesting.
Ooh, 2028, China's economy surpasses that of the U.S.
Facts. That's about to happen.
Launch of the Comet Interceptor. I guess they want to make an interceptor to stop comets. The European Extremely Large Telescope is operational. That's what they name it. The Extremely Large Telescope.
There's no way.
Romania adopts the euro, buddy. 2029. Let's go.
Bruh.
Anyway, this is a cool site. If you guys ever want to check it out, it's called futuretimeline.net, and it even goes into like the far future, like 2100, 2200. It's really, really
even
interesting.
further.
Yeah, I think it goes into like the year like 3000 or something.
Yeah, it's
and
like-
it just uses trends in technology and economy and global political
Probably
scale.
historical data as well from
Yeah,
the past.
yeah.
But like a lot of it is very accurate. So anyways.
Anyway, the truth is out there. And we are not alone. Yeah.
You decide your truth.
Yeah, take from it what you will. We're just a bunch of bros on a couch drinking bubbly, talking about aliens. But
It's very interesting, and like more and more information coming out makes you just
it's very
wonder even more.
mind-blasting.
Oh, it is mind blasting.
Mind-blasting.
Oh,
You can figure out what the accent that was. Anyways, we're going to continue this, I think, in a part 2, because there's a lot to cover, especially if we go into other cool conspiracies, like we were saying, cryptids, for example, like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster and all that stuff. Those are really cool to talk about.
Loch Ness Monster.
Let's talk. We can talk about the shadow government, the Illuminati. There's so many Bohemian Grove. There's so many cool things.
We
to
could
talk
talk about how jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
about. Ooh. catch that in the next episode. Anyways, I think that's it for today,
What
guys.
the fuck are we talking about next week? Back to like health and fitness?
Yeah, I think we just do like every other one is like a fun one or something. I don't know. We'll play it by ear.
Yeah,
We'll play it by
next
ear.
one we're gonna be at a round table and we're gonna just have papers
Yeah,
in
the
front
next
of-
one's gonna be like a full podcast studio with like neon lights between sets.
We should.
I'm down.
I'm getting that sign.
I have a spare room with a bunch of boxes in
Ooh.
it. But once that's
And
open,
we'll just have like the lights permanently set up.
yeah, we can turn that into
And
the
all
podcast
these like
studio.
knickknacks in the background
And
that
then
keep your
maybe
attention.
we'll just put some dumbbells on the table so it's still in theme.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, and we'll just rip random bicep curls in between. So it's between sets.
Yes.
We figured it out. See? You have to start something in order to figure it out.
We've made some progress. Anyways, that's it.
If
for
you
today,
like
guys.
this episode,
yeah, let us know.
yeah, don't let us know. Share it. Share
Yes.
it with people.
Yes.
Let them develop their
Get the word
opinions.
out there.
And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye. That's gonna be how we sign out from now on.
That was a fun one, man. I really enjoyed that.